Hey, Peter.
Yep.
Where'd you get your start?
Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers.
Really?
Well, I got my start listening to the music of Art Blakey via Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers.
Oh, cool. I got my start with Miles Davis. Awesome.
Oh, nice. Have you shared the stage with Miles Davis?
No.
Okay.
I'm Adam S.
And I'm Peter Martin.
And you're listening to the You'll Hear It podcast.
Daily Jazz Advice coming at you in 2019, Season 3. Excited to be here. What's up?
And you're watching the You'll Hear It podcast on YouTube, probably.
Me? I don't watch
Not
it.
you specifically.
I do watch it sometimes, I'm going to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I'll chill in the living room. We got set up. I'll check us out.
Oh, bro, you have some lint there on your shoulder.
Oh,
That's going to
man.
show up on the podcast. You're not going to like that.
This is amazing. This is 2018 lint, but you're seeing it in 2019.
Ah.
Time travel.
Wow.
All right, so we have a question today. Do we know where this question came from, or did it just magically appear?
It came from a listener, John, from email, and John asks...
Via email.
Yes.
Old school.
He says, I love the podcast and wonder if you might provide a retrospective of some of the lesser-known musicians who got their start with Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. I only recently discovered Johnny O'Neill and wonder who else you might recommend listeners check out. Thanks so much.
Yes. Well, let me think about this as I search Wikipedia for an answer. No, it's funny because Johnny O'Neill, I saw Johnny O'Neill recently.
Yeah.
And
St. Louis's own Johnny
St.
O'Neill.
Louis's
Yeah.
own. I actually saw him up in New York, and he's still going strong, doing his thing, singing, playing, and yeah, he's definitely one of the. I don't know. I guess he did get a start. I mean, that's kind of like that maybe on the New York scene.
Yeah.
In playing with Blakey.
He's awesome, too.
Yeah. And so we were thinking about people that maybe it was lesser known, but also that maybe it was known but forgotten. So this was fun, and we did start to come up with our own list. And but before that, even I don't know if you know where Art Blakey got his start.
Well, I think this is a good place to start. Where did Art Blakey, a little undiscovered Art Blakey, get his first big break?
And that would be in some really classic big bands. Fletcher Henderson and Billy Eckstine. He played with both bands as well. I mean, he was coming out of a big band thing. We always think about him as, an incredible bebop drummer, which he was.
Yeah.
And certainly got his start there as well, playing with the Bebop Masters. But,
Blakey with a big band.
Blakey with a big
Man.
band. Yeah.
Right.
Blakey with Thelonious Monk. Those recordings, I
Those are so
love
great,
that.
too.
That wasn't done. It was done. I could have heard that forever. But now talking about people, so this will be kind of all over the place. But Johnny O'Neill, and I'm gonna pull my pièce de résistance. I'm gonna hold up on that name.
Okay.
Remember, that's a little bit of French allusion there, so keep that in mind. But because he was just in studio with us here recently, Jeff Keezer. Did you know he got his start?
Yeah, he was a teenager, wasn't he?
He was very fresh. Because I remember seeing him with Blakey around 1988, 89 in New York. So he was probably 18, 19 years old then. Killing it. I was like, who is this dude? And if you think about how Jeff Keezer looks, think about how he looked at age 18 and 19 in the late 80s with Art Blakey. But, I mean, killing it. And so that was a cool one. And then, right before that, when I saw Blakey, I think in 87 when I first went up to New York, it was Terrence Blanchard.
Little unknown Terrence Blanchard.
Terrence Blanchard with some huge glasses, I remember. I was like, wow.
So nothing's changed.
No, right. With Donald Harrison as well.
Man.
And I think Donald Harrison was playing alto then with him. But a saxophonist, and this is where my French will come in handy again, Jean Toussaint.
Jean Toussaint?
Yeah, he was actually, I don't know where he is now, but he was from London, I believe.
Definitely a
with
lesser
a French
known
name, but from London.
Lesser known member of the Blakey band, and worth checking out.
Worth
too.
checking out. Was killing. I remember that.
I mean, so many people, we have on our list here, Wynton and Branford Marsalis. Have you ever heard of them?
I have. Winston and Branflakes, as I like to call them.
But they got their start. I mean, they got their start when they were children.
The streets of New Orleans on the French Quarter.
But really made their names with Blakey, and
Yep.
and I'm assuming learned, what everybody learned with Blakey, which is how to be an incredible leader of a band.
Right.
And so many of musicians that we love and that have become such a huge part of this music got their start with the school of Art Blakey,
Yeah, and fun fact, I think Branford, I at least remember hearing this on recording or seeing a video, was playing alto, I believe, with Blakey at that time.
Huh.
And I'm wondering, I'm just going to see if as we vamp, if I can pull this up, but he was playing, so I think there was a tenor player also.
In the band with Wynton and Branford.
Yes.
Here we go. How fast can Peter both pull up the information
and talk
and
about
talk at the
jazz.
same-
Why am I speaking? Oh, this is cool. So this is a video of. I remember listening to this. I don't remember a video of Web City, and like Wynton is just killing it on here. Blakey's wearing like he basically looks like he has on like a prom tuxedo.
Oh yeah, I used to have this on VHS.
Yeah,
I used to have this on VHS.
Oh, you
for
did?
real. Yeah, for real.
Well, I remember hearing it, and Wynton got big glasses. They must have been in style then, man.
definitely were.
But I mean, Wynton was just like everybody was really wowed by his technique, and I'm just trying to see if they have the other musicians on here.
What about some trombonists? What about like Robin Eubanks?
Robin Eubanks, that's right.
Member
Absolutely.
of the Jazz Messengers.
Oh, who is that? Oh, Billy Pierce. That's who was
Billy
playing tenor.
Pierce.
Bill
Another-
Pierce.
Yeah.
Great saxophonist. That was a really good band. And I don't know, is that Charnet Moff? No, I don't know who that is on bass. But that was a great band. I mean, that was, I actually was kind of, that sent me on a deep dive back into the classic Art Blakey stuff. It was sort of a twofold thing. When Wynton and Branford, that band, kind of hearing that, and then also Blue Notes kind of coming back out again, seeing a lot of those recordings, that sort of pushed me all the way back.
And some great arrangers too, like Bobby Watson.
Bobby Watson, that's right.
You know?
Well, and he was with the group too. I guess Branford might have replaced him or whatever. Yeah, Bobby Watson, yeah.
Tons of, I mean, if you just go through the list of all the players that have been on there, I mean, most of them are incredibly famous at this point, but some of them aren't less famous. Carlos Garnett.
No, not familiar with this
Not
work.
familiar with him either.
No,
Tenor
no.
player.
Okay.
But anyway.
All right.
Yeah, there's a ton of folks. And hopefully, John, the ones we've mentioned are all worth checking out and
Yep.
have their own albums and their own music. And, it's funny. It's like, I think the folks that come out of that band, they have that certain mentality when they make an album or when they make more music as the leader.
Yeah.
That they have that, I don't know, it has a Blakey alum feel.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Clifford Brown, Lou Donaldson. Now we're going back to the very beginnings of the Art Blakey. With the live, what was that?
I've heard of those guys.
With the, I was going to say it's not Lou Donaldson with the high voice, the guy who was introducing him on that record.
Oh yeah, at the where is it live?
It's
somewhere.
Birdland.
Is it Birdland?
Yeah, I think so. Live at Birdland. Live at the Birdland. Yeah, of course.
It might be. Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
that's some classic, and that was, I think, was already called Jazz Messengers then. That was definitely Art Blakey. It was under Art Blakey.
So there's a great story about this in the new Blue Note movie, actually, where Blakey paid that announcer to say Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers. It wasn't Art Blakey and the Jazz Messengers up
Really?
to that point. Yeah.
So we're getting into like fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
Art Blakey basically bribed to have his name up front, and then from there on
And that was like early 50s. So you got, actually, when was that? Yeah, 54 release. Clifford Brown, Lou Donaldson, Horace Silver. That's right.
right.
I mean, I actually learned some of the solos off of that. Was my first Horace Silver solos that I learned was from that record, that volume 1. That's great. It's some classic Clifford Brown. If you haven't heard that, that's a really fun one. And Curly Russell on bass, of course. But that's some wonderful. I mean, wow, what a great thing that Lou Donaldson is still with us, still doing his thing. Well, I actually saw him recently, and he's like, I'm in retirement, but I'm thinking about coming out because they keep giving me honors, so I'll come out if they honor me. Like he's like, that's literally what he's told me.
You have one of the better Lou Donaldsons,
Well,
and there's a
come on
lot
now.
of Lou
Come
Donaldson
on.
impressions.
Come on now,
Man, we could do a whole week on the Jazz Messengers. There's been so much. I mean, there's so much material to cover that we could do lists on all the different eras.
We've only got like 300 episodes this year ahead of us, so how will we ever fit that in?
Okay, let's keep rolling here. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks,
Yeah.
John. I hope we answered your question somewhat in a roundabout way.
Yep.
And you can always go to you'llhearit.com to ask a question. You can go to YouTube. I won't be there, but Peter will be there.
Yep.
Answering
Troll him.
answering questions
I don't even know
on
what that means.
on YouTube. But go to you'llhearit.com to leave us a voicemail, a speak pipe. You can buy some You'll Hear It swag.
Yep.
You can leave us a 7-star review.
Yep.
And anything else?
I think that's it. So you'll hear it.